You need time. You need to be dedicated. You need to be passionate. This is what I'm trying to unleash in each and every one of you here today. In the most simplistic way possible, without necessarily bringing in a lot of jargon. This is a stark reminder, as I've said, that we cannot be passive when we are discussing these issues and make the same mistakes that generations before us made. Dedicating ourselves to enterprise solutions to the environmental and climate change challenges is what we can do to be able to build a ladder that can take us to the top. And that is how we can be able to change the narrative and start turning challenges into opportunities. You, the present generation, and especially those who are listening online and those who are here physically, you exist as a defining moment where your decisions to break from the past and unlock your potential for solutions will define Africa's destiny going forward. So I am here today, like I started by saying, that I'm here today to call you to wisdom. I'm here today to tell you that you don't need a special invitation to come to the solution space. You do not need, government has done its best, especially here in Botswana. You have a climate change policy. You have all the policies you need. You have your nationally determined contribution. We aim to cut emissions by 15%, focusing on energy, waste, and agriculture. You are supposed to read that, and I'm sure that I will be surprised if anybody have read the Botswana climate policy and the Botswana nationally determined contribution. If you've done it, put your hand up, please. I will clap for you. Not yet. When you leave here today, go and read and see what is in it for me. There is nowhere in the world where government does everything for everybody. Government role is to create an enabling environment, and it is the citizens that usher themselves to act. That's why the climate action premium and inquire come and try to understand, how do I take this forward? Avail yourself to the solution space. That's what I am here to tell you, that you need no special invitation. You need no special prioritization or consideration to be able to become a solution provider. Regardless of your age, whether you are young or old. If you are young, you will still get old. If you are old and you are young and need something, you will be more useful. So what that means is that we, regardless of age, are required to report for duty urgently. And what is this duty? Become a solution provider. Seize opportunities. Be dedicated and passionate. This is what we must do to be able to turn environmental and climate change challenges into opportunities. And for us to do this, we need reimagination. Reimagination of solutions is what is required of you and me. Because if we do not reimagine solutions, then we cannot be able to tap into the opportunities that are disguised as challenges. And this reimagination needs to be done in the following ways, and take note of each and every one of them. We need to reimagine our food systems. We are in a continent today, 65% of our cultivated arable land, 257 million people, over 257 million people go to bed hungry. Yet, we produce food that get wasted, and the continent loses 48 billion US dollars. And then import food over 25 billion US dollars. That's importing unemployment and exporting employment. And then we say Africa is poor. Poor in what? Poor in what? We are poor in the fact that we do not recognize that we need to build the skills, the requisite skills to turn our challenges into opportunity. To harvest losses, to reduce that doesn't need rocket science. You don't need to go to the moon to come back to do that. And I'm going to explain how can we be able to do that. This reimagination in food systems must prioritize one fundamental aspect in 2 words: value addition. Without value addition, you cannot develop. If you take Botswana, where we are today, Botswana is famous for its livestock industry, and up to 80% of your agricultural GDP is drawn from livestock. And most cattle are owned by smallholders. We must reimagine the business model, especially under the changing climate. But climate action offers solutions in 2 areas. One is circularity, and the other is sustainable value addition. For example, prioritizing waste recovery to fertilizer is a very simple thing you can read and learn even on the internet. How do you use your livestock waste to turn into biogas and to fertilizer? How do you use agricultural waste to turn it into briquettes? These are simple things you can learn, and we guide youth across the continent, and they're doing this. Willing youth living here today, going to YouTube, just looking at how do I turn livestock waste into biogas, within a week or 3, you will be doing it yourself, and that's your enterprise. This is not rocket science. This is what young people are doing across the continent. But you need yourself first to come to the solution space, and nobody will do it for you. Only you can be able to usher yourself into the solution space. These realities, if you prioritize waste recovery to fertilizer in the livestock sector, this can turn Botswana into a hub of fertilizer production in Africa, because this is a sector that is growing at 5.9% globally and will tap into billions of dollars. Simple. The other one is in clean energy power value addition. Learn how to make simple solar dryers very easy. Go online and read. It's very easy to do that. And the center here is going to also offer practically how you can be able to do that. So that at least the smallholders can be able to add value to their livestock, be it processed meats or processing hide and skins into different items of apparel. Delivering these solutions stands to unlock enterprise opportunities that you, the young people, must urgently tap into through enterprising action. That takes me to the second point, which is we must reimagine our energy systems. We hear stories. One of the biggest worst, I call it worst, and I say it without any fear of contradiction. The worst thing that ever happened to the young people of Africa today is that we embrace narratives and we don't question narratives. You cannot, there is profound power in a narrative. And if you cannot be able to formulate your own narrative, you cannot be able to make progress. When you are told you are poor, then you say, yes, I am poor. No. What is poverty? What is poverty in the first place? Poverty is not an indictment on anybody. I grew up in a poor home. So what? But we were told that being poor is not punishment. You can get out of poverty if you focus and you are dedicated and create a pathway, you will get out of it. But because we are told that we are poor and the solution to out of poverty has only to come from elsewhere, we then bury ourselves in sand, bury our heads in sand, and then wait for others to come and take us out of it. That's a false narrative, and I'm here to debunk that. The false narrative on energy, where we have 620 million Africans who are energy impoverished, the narrative is that we can be able to transform rural areas using gas. No, it's a lie. Let me tell you this. Most of Africa is still in an informal setting. Let me repeat that again, because the narrative you guys pick is that Africa is a formal setting. Africa is not a formal setting. 3/4 of this continent is still informal. I understand it. I come from an informal sector. I grew up in a village in the northwestern part of Cameroon. I get this. I get it. I don't need anybody to tell me. I get it. And with intellectual dishonesty, I can see people leaving the room. Truth is bitter sometimes, but it needs to be told, which is good. But most of Africa is still in an informal setting. The informality of Africa cannot be ignored as we discuss energy aspects. Why do I say so? Decentralized energy systems such as solar mini grids are built as the cheapest way to electrify rural Africa. If you get gas, right, to a mother in a community who cannot afford to buy a gas stove. No, please, let's be realistic, right? I mean, but we jump on a narrative, oh no, we need gas to get our mothers in communities so that, okay, fine, how do we get the gas, cooking gas? They don't have the money. And we embrace it without questioning our contextual reality. What works in the United States may not necessarily work in rural Botswana, but the context is different. And those who understand context are those who come from the specific areas. It doesn't mean that you cannot learn from Asia or Europe or North America, but you need to contextualize the knowledge to fit the reality, the contextual reality of people. But this is the truth. If you don't understand it, you cannot make progress in anything you pick up, to be very honest. I discuss climate change from a realistic perspective. That's my area of expertise. I'm an environmental expert. But discussing it just the way it is discussed at a global stage will sound excellent, but it will not change anything. Another discussion in every community in Africa, we have cooperatives. The names are different. In West Africa, they call it Chamas. In West Africa, Central Africa, where I come from, they call it Yangis. I believe in Botswana, there must be a name where in every community, people come together, they contribute money, they either put it. I mean, it's not formal. but it's a social structure in which people come to, they may not contribute money, it may be food, it may be supporting one another. I grew up, my mother used to